Hey guys, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make homemade flour tortillas. A lot of people think it's really difficult and they just buy store-bought or whatever, but it's actually not that hard, especially once you get the hang of it. It just comes naturally. First thing you want to do is start off with a very sanitized surface. I went ahead, I disinfected my countertops, and then I also did a water wash. That way we don't get that the spray stuff, any of that taste or whatever. But yeah, you can also use like a cutting board or anything like that. But the way my grandmother taught me was just plain surface, so that's just what I'm used to. So you can go ahead, as long as it's just a flat surface, because when you're going to go ahead and end up rolling out the tortillas. So other than that, all you're going to need is flour, salt, vegetable oil, and water, hot water to be precise. So it's very simple. We're gonna mix the ingredients. We're gonna knead it. For those who don't know what kneading, it's basically just like that with it. You'll see. Let it set for like about 10 minutes, and then you're gonna roll them into little, I guess you can say, round circles, little coins, and then roll them out and then put them on the stove top. So let's get started. So first is 3 cups of flour. So I already went ahead and measured 1 of the cups of flour, so that's 1. And then doing the second one. Oh yeah, and you're gonna get messy. Flour is very messy. 2. And then last one. 3 cups of flour. Now 1 teaspoon of salt. And then a 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. A 1/3 cup. Or I kind of tilted it too. Yeah. 1/3. And then hot water. Excuse me 1 second. 1 cup of hot water. And then 1 cup of hot water. And use your hands and go ahead and mix all the ingredients by hand. It's gonna look kind of like this at first, and then the more you mix it with your, the more solid it will become. You don't want it to be completely dry. You do want to have some moisture, because then the tortillas are gonna come out really dry and breaky. So you want to go ahead and make sure you have some sort of moisture in there. So even though when you're done mixing it all together, it's going to feel kind of sticky still, and that's okay. So I hope y'all are all doing wonderful. I miss all of y'all. And hopefully I'll see y'all again. Hopefully y'all do have a graduation for the seniors. I'm not sure if this video is going to be showed to all of the students or just the seniors. So if you know, my juniors and sophomores and freshmen, if not, I'll see y'all next year hopefully. But my seniors, I'll see y'all at graduation. Hopefully y'all have one. If not, I'll see y'all on the Google Meet meetings. Miss y'all. So now you can see it's basically together. So I'm gonna put the bowl, and this is where I said how it's gonna get messy. I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit of flour on the surface, just so that way it doesn't get sticky on it. So this is where you knead. So let's basically break it apart, put it together. break it apart, put it together. And it's actually a very good stress reliever. Kind of like the balls that you squeeze and stuff. So yeah, just keep on kneading, kneading, kneading. So you want to keep on. I have little hands, so sometimes I have to use my palm. But yeah, it's typically in the wrist and your fingers that you'll be using. And it's starting to get sticky on the counter a little bit, so I'm going to add a little bit more flour. You don't want to put too much flour on because then the dough's going to absorb it, and then your dough's going to become too dry. So just a little bit and spread it around so that way it's not all clumpy. Okay. I think I've kneaded it enough. See how the dough is more smooth now as when I first started before kneading. So you want to go ahead and set it aside for about 10 minutes. This is good time to maybe turn on your stove so that way it heats up the comal, and then if you don't know what that is, which I kind of hope everybody does because y'all live in San Antonio, it is like that. I don't have your traditional Hispanics cast iron one, although I've always wanted one. I just never had gotten one. So on my wish list. But something like that. Also, if you can use a regular frying pan, if you don't have one of those too, that just works fine as well. It's just gonna be using the heat. Which reminds me, I didn't even turn mine on. Give me a minute. And you can just turn it on for about to medium. Also, another thing you can do while you're waiting while it sets is clean up, put up your stuff because you're not gonna need it anymore. Get out your rolling pin. Actually, I need to dig mine out. I didn't even get that out. So I'm going to go ahead and come right back. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. So our dough is nice and set. So now, go ahead and bring it out. We're going to go ahead and make into little dime shapes. So it's going to be nice and gooey. So just work it around in your palm. So, like that. Just put it on. So, my first time making this on my own without my grandmother's help, I actually was a little stingy with the dough, and my tortillas came out like this big. So you want to make sure you're generous, and they're about palm size. Okay, well, my palm is probably smaller than a lot of y'all's. This batch should make about more or less 9 tortillas. Of course, depending on your little coin sizes will vary. So, but if you make around 9, you probably did the correct size. So that's something. And of course, like I said, you will get more, it'll come more natural to you once you do this often or more than once. Actually, I think this one's a little bit bigger. This is bigger than my other ones. So just roll it in your palm. But you can see how like it's still a bit gooey. That one didn't come out very well. There we go. I might have to redo that bigger one. See, look how small this one came out because I'm starting to get stingy. Yeah, I'm gonna redo that one. But honestly, like, it's just me and Izzy here, so I ain't worried too much about how many I make. So this is also very fun and relaxing as well. The way the dough feels in between your hands. Trust me, when you do it, you'll know what I'm talking about. And another thing I'm gonna start learning how to do is video making, because right now all I'm doing is just press record, pause, or record, stop, and how I'm gonna paste this one with the other video together, I have no clue yet. I might just send them both to Dell and have her figure that out. Or maybe even, I think Fantasia's really good with that stuff, so maybe I'll call her for some tips and tricks on that. But hopefully, as I do this with the meals I make during this horrible time, I'll get better at video making. So yeah, so I made about 9. Go ahead and show you. So now, usually I have my sous chef, Izzy, here and here help me, and as I roll them out, he'll put them on the comal, but he didn't want to be a star in my show, so I'm going to go ahead and do it on my own. Move these back a little bit. Oh, I need to put more flour on the... So next I'm going to go ahead and roll these out, and as I roll them out, I'm going to place them on this bowl just hanging over, so that way they don't get all flat, not flat, broken or anything like that. So I'm going to put more flour on here. Spread it around. Again, you don't want to put too much. Just one little layer is good enough. Also, you want to flour up your rolling pin. Roll it in flour a little bit, because you don't want the dough to stick on it. So, here we go. Ooh, too much flour. And roll. So shouldn't take too many rolls, so one roll there. Let me adjust this so y'all can see better. So I did one roll out. I'm gonna go ahead, turn it. Another roll out. Now I'm gonna turn it just a little bit. From some reason I'm drawing a blank at my degrees, so bear with me here. Also, how you roll it out can also depend on how thick you like your tortillas. I like mine pretty thick, but I also like them a nice size. So here's one. Drape it over just like that. Second one. I'm not going to keep you all in the video for all 9 of mine. Just save time, because I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all are going to get bored. have watched me doing this over and over. So I'm going to just finish this one, and then we'll go ahead and we'll move it to the stove. I'm getting lazy, didn't want to turn it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move it to the stove. Let me get a plate out so I can put the tortillas on as they get cooked. I was looking for my favorite plate. So let me move it over. I didn't think about cleaning the other back, so excuse my mess in the back. Actually, you know what? You don't need to see the back. You can just right here. So see, I can see the comal and the plates. So tortilla one. We're just gonna leave it on there. Let it brown. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and time it now, so that way I can tell y'all more or less the time, because I normally just go by looks and feels. So it's what, 6:44 right now, so let's give it a couple minutes. And while that's there, also you can be rolling out. I'm not gonna do that right now because I know y'all are on and watching. But usually also that's another thing you can be doing. You can, as you put one on, you can roll out more, come, turn, roll out more, and y'all can go back and you can go back and forth that way. So it's still been 6:44. It hasn't changed the time. Hasn't been a full minute. And one side is semi-cooked, not completely. You can just feel from the harden. But you want to have to be nice and brown. This is not brown yet. So after I'm done with this side, getting that dough nice and hard, I'm going to flip it back over again. And then you can play with it back and forth, flipping it back and forth as many times as you want, until you get the desired brown that you like, or crisp. But right now it's still pretty doughy. So but I wanted to show you how long it will take, more or less. So that was what, about less than a minute for one side. And so you can just play with it to get it pretty brown. I personally don't like my tortillas too brown and crispy. Izzy does like his brown and crispy, so I like to do half and half. Or if you're gonna do maybe even a bigger batch, you can do like double or whatever. That way you can only do it once. You can do it once a week, and you can have them throughout the week. And so maybe you just don't cook them fully right now, and that way when you get back during the week, you can finish cooking them so they're more fresh that way. I know that's what H-E-B does. Like if you go to their bakery and you buy their pack of tortillas from the bakery, not from the bread section or the tortilla section, but from the bakery, they don't fully cook their tortillas. I mean, they're still edible because the dough is cooked, but they didn't brown them too much. That way you're able to come back and brown them without burning them or crisping them. So you can do that as well if you want to do a bigger batch. But I'm only going to make tortillas for tonight's meal, which I will make a separate video for. So it's been about a minute and a half. I'm going to go ahead and leave that side a little longer. That way I can see a brown. And then that should basically be it on the video. But see, look. I mean, I have nails, so sometimes I go like that to feel the dough. So see, now it's trying to get a little color in that. See, it's gonna bubble up. See it bubbling up? See, get a closer look. Ah, covering it. Closer look. See how it's bubbling? Just smash it down. Don't be afraid of. See how it bubbles like that? So that can happen. Doesn't mean anything, just happens. I don't know the science behind that one. Maybe Dale wants to add a comment on that science of that. But yeah, just Smash it back down. I might do one more flip to this side too because I want it a little bit more brown as well. I want a little bit more brown. But yeah, you'll get more of an even cook if you have a better pan comal. Mine is just a regular generic one you can get at any store. Once this whole shutdown lifts, I've already told Iz, first thing I want to do is go to a flea market or something to buy an actual comal, because this is not cutting it for me. I've been spoiled to where I hardly ever really have to make my tortillas because my grandma still makes it a batch, and she feels it gives us a reason to go over, so she bakes, you know, batches of this or that, tortillas, cakes, cookies, whatever. That way, she calls us up saying that she has it for us to go by and get it, to pick it up. So I'm still getting spoiled by my grandmother, so I hardly ever do this. So I never, now that we have the little lockdown, I'm like, I haven't been able to go by or anything. So, but look, now look at this color. See, that's the color you want right there. So, but that is basically all it is. It's pretty simple, maybe a little tedious, but pretty basic. I hope you enjoy and send pics, post pics. I want to see how y'all's come out.